Some of you are about to make a decision that looks right, and it's going to cost you years. Not because it's evil, because it's early. Everybody's in a hurry right now. In a hurry to be seen, to be right, be successful. I'm just so behind. In a hurry to be chosen. Truly in a hurry to call something God. Because that silence is making them nervous. And some of you didn't fail because you were wrong. You failed because you would not wait. That is one of the most respectable sins in America right now. We'll call it leadership or boldness or stepping up, taking action. We'll even call it discernment. Put some biblical language on it. But a whole lot of what people are calling faith right now is just panic with Bible words sprinkled in. A man gets uncomfortable and forces a relationship. A church feels pressure to platform a gifted speaker, but it's too early. A family gets scared and buys what God never told them to buy. Or if you're a creator, you're making something and you start to see momentum. You start putting on it more than what God actually said. We see this everywhere. It just looks different in each of our lives. And because it looks decisive, people clap for it. They can pat you on the back, tell you, good job, yeah, way to step, yeah. And they're going to keep doing that until it breaks. There's a story in the Bible that should scare more people than it does. King Saul. He's about to go into battle. God's told him to go into battle. The pressure's real. It's life and death. Men are scattering, going everywhere, and the moment feels completely unstable. Samuel, the prophet, comes to him with a word from God. Tells him exactly what to do. Wait 7 days, and then I will come, and then we move. Simple. It's hard, but it's simple. And Saul waited until waiting started costing him something. Till that pressure, he started feeling it build in his chest. You felt that? I have. Until that obedience to God started making him look weak to those whose opinions he cared about. So he did what a lot of people do when they don't trust God enough to stay still. He helped God. He offered that sacrifice himself. And on the surface, it looks noble. Right? He's trying to stabilize the moment, trying to do something spiritual in a chaotic situation. That's why this story is so dangerous. Because Saul did not run into obvious rebellion. He did the right looking thing, but it was at the wrong time. And God called it disobedience. That should sober some of you up. Because there are people watching this right now who are not in open sin. You are not rebellious. You are just ahead of God. You like your timetable better than you like his. And that's harder to detect. Because premature things can feel righteous. It can feel like you're taking that action. But you can pray about it and still force it. You can quote scripture and still rush it. Call it responsibility, but you're still operating out of fear. Because obedience is not just direction, it's also timing. And timing is not a footnote with God. It's part of the command. And we live in a culture that cannot stand unresolved tension. And some of you already know this is you. You already feel the pressure. You feel it right now. You already know you're about to move on your own, and you're still going to do it anyway. Not because you don't know better, but because you can't stand to sit in that tension. So we force outcomes. As guilty of this as anybody. We rush the conversation. We force some apology. We kick the door down that we've been knocking on for a long time. And we do it on our timeline. And when it starts to go sideways, then we're confused. Because on paper it made sense. But God never told you to relieve your pressure. He told you to obey Him. There's a big difference. A lot of people are not being led by the Spirit. They're being led by the need to end that tension that they're feeling. And that need is expensive, brother. It's going to cost you years. I know from experience. And while it's costing you years, it's going to cost you your peace. And almost more tragically, it's going to cost you things that you didn't have to lose. Saul had the calling, and he still lost it. So let me make this plain. Sometimes you are not stepping up. You are stepping ahead of what God is trying to do. Sometimes we are not acting in faith. We're acting to control something. And if Jesus is Lord, if He truly is who He claims to be, and we believe that, our discomfort does not get the deciding vote. So here's the question. Where are you moving right now? Because you are called. And where are you moving because you are uncomfortable? Because if you keep forcing things, every time it gets quiet, then the issue is not confusion. It's trust. So no, you're not stuck. But if you keep forcing it, you are choosing it. And one day you won't be able to say, I thought it was right. You'll have to admit, you just didn't want to wait. Find Jesus, fight culture, and spread the good news.